Hello, Ruthie Renee. I want to share a few thoughts with you while we are closing this eclipse portal that just we've been in the middle of since the solar eclipse. Did you even know it was happening? Solar eclipse took place about a couple weeks ago. Tomorrow on the 28th, Saturday, we'll have a full moon, and that is the close of the eclipse portal. It starts with one eclipse and it closes with the next, and all it is just extra energy moving us forward the direction we're already going. It's an opportunity to reset. We hit the reset when the eclipse happens. It covers what is happening and gives us an opportunity to hit the reset button, see things a little more clearly. And that's great if you are in a space of awareness and growth and moving the direction you want to go. If you're not, it can look like a whole lot of happens and out of the blue seemingly. It's just, life can feel hard, or it can be one more thing. All kinds of stuff can happen. When you're aware that it's happening, though, you have this opportunity to watch everything unfold in front of you and be more of the observer. So this time through, I'm getting better at this as they happen in my life. With this one, we're specifically working on and focusing, recognizing pieces of ourself, how we show up in life, who we really are, who am I, what am I doing what I want, am I showing up in life the way I feel like I am, like how it represents a version of me, or do I feel like I'm an imposter? Do I feel like I'm just pleasing other people and I've gotten lost? That mom feeling of I'm taking care of everybody else and I'm being all of these people, filling all these roles for everybody else, but who am I when the end of the day comes, and what's left over, and what do I have to share and show for it? So all of these things come up or have been for people over the last couple of weeks. Tomorrow is the final day. It closes with the full moon, and I just hope that everything has been so fun for you. If it hasn't, if it's been difficult, I hope it's been difficult in a way that you've been able to learn and see clearly what has been happening, what's pulled up, heal it so that you can just be stronger and move down your path a little bit quicker and easier. I wanted to share just a couple of the lessons that I've learned, and I even had a couple of days where, a full day and then healing into the second day where I just got blindsided a little bit. And looking back now, of course, the trauma is never as bad once you've healed from it, right? The trauma is only big and huge, and because that's the way we see it, that's because all of the emotion is attached. Once you detach the emotion, it's just a thing, and hopefully something we can learn from. So my first big lesson or awareness that I had with myself was, two-part. The first part is that I learned again that the world doesn't revolve around me. You talk about high school kids and they're just like, they're so stuck on themselves, and they just like the whole world revolves around them and they're blind to everything else. Well, I got that experience again when I had an argument. I wouldn't even say it was an argument. It was, it ended up being an argument between me and my husband. He was just grumpy. He just flipped all of a sudden. He was just grumpy for the rest of the night. And I kept trying to maneuver how I wanted to show up. We still wanted to have a good night, and he would snap at me for something and then turn around and be kind again. And so I was confused. I kept thinking, what have I done? What do I need to shift? What do I need to change? Did I say the wrong thing? Maybe it's him, and I'll just walk on eggshells. All of these things. And then finally, at the end of the evening, found out it wasn't about me at all. I just totally made all of it up in my head. So that was my first lesson, and I sat with it and I prayed about it, and I set every single night. I've been setting my intention. If you were with me from the beginning, you got the lesson on the directive. If not, you can go back and find it. It's the first self-hypnosis technique that I teach my students, and it is so valuable. So I've been setting my directive every night for what is the next thing I need to see clearly. What parts of me are not really me? What can I let go of? So I did that, and the next day I figured out the second part of that lesson. The world does revolve around me. Did you know that? Sorry, you thought it revolved around you. Nope, it revolves around me. At least it does from my perspective. Everything in my world comes through my eyes. It comes through my perspective and then back out into the world. So in that way, it kind of was about me, because guess what? I'm married to my husband and we interact together. We help regulate each other. And I don't think that's a bad thing. We are in relationships, and then you are no longer one. We are and we're not. We're separate and we're together. We are husband and wife, a unit, a team. And so when he's having a bad day, even if it is because of somebody else or something else, I'm the one that lives with him. I'm the one that gets to feel it. So it is an us thing, and it is a me thing. I get to choose if I'm going to react to life however I see it or respond. I can react the way I have in the past with my old programming, or I can pause and be clear, conscious, aware of what's happening and choose to respond with love, because that's who I choose to be, a person full of love and grace and understanding and forgiveness and curiosity. I could have asked questions from the beginning instead of just making assumptions. So there was my lesson. The next one came when I was standing in line yet again because I'm a terrible line picker. And I know it's a thought, and I just haven't changed it. But now I've decided that, what if it's a blessing? I thought about the phrase, bloom where you're planted. I've always thought about that in regards to where I live. If I am living in Texas, whether I want to stay here forever or not, I'm going to just assume I'm here until God sees fit to send me somewhere or lead me somewhere else. So I'm going to bloom right where I am. What if right where I am, where I'm planted, is the grocery store line behind two people while we're waiting for somebody that has to check on an item, and it's an extra 5 minutes or whatever, even though that was the shortest line? I find that I'm in that position all the time. What if it's not a mistake? What if I'm in that position because I can brighten the life of the person in front of me or behind me? What if somebody is super stressed about being stuck in the line and I can make a joke out of it or give them a compliment or whatever? I can bloom. I can choose to bloom, whether I'm in a line or stuck in traffic or waiting on the phone with a customer service person who's waiting for their computer to load. Wherever I'm at, I can choose to bloom. I can show up in the best way possible. So those are just a couple of lessons that I've learned. The other thing with this Eclipse Portal, and where, again, go follow an astronomer that you connect with. I love Ali Duzette just because she's Christian and she sees things a little bit different. She's kind of in line with my thinking. So I like her. She said something about Taurus, and I don't know what's going on exactly, but the next phase, what we're going to be in the next year and a half at least, is relationship. And that happens to be where we're moving next month in my Conscious Creators group on Facebook. Come join us. We'd love to have you in the discussion. We are focusing on relationships next month. And I just think it's wonderful because once you know who you are, then you start looking outside of yourself and you recognize yourself in everyone else. So there it is. The world revolves around you. That's relationship. I have a relationship with my husband, my children, my clients, my students, my finances, my time. Everything is a relationship. And so that's what we're going to talk about next month. But before next month comes, we have a couple more days. Tomorrow is Saturday, the 28th. If you're seeing this in time, I would love to invite you to our class and coaching class about self. We're going to talk just a little bit because I've shared a lot along the way. So we're just going to recap a few things, and then we're going to open it up for Q&A. I've had a number of questions I've saved to answer throughout the month, and any coaching. So if we have enough people on to take up all of the time, I'll just do a separate video in answer to the questions that I've gotten because I want to be able to rapid fire coach anybody who is available and wants to be coached. If you want to sit and just be a fly on the wall, that's totally fine too. You can learn so much from watching other people being coached. So for the brave ones that really want to get their work done, thank you. And for the timid ones that really want to get your work done through somebody else, thank you. Come and join us and we'll just have fun together. All right, have a great evening, you guys. Happy Friday.